Now, do I regret buying this rental property? Some days I do. Saving money is not easy, and I've saved a couple $1,000s throughout my life, and I have so much more to save. But in today's video, I'm going to tell you how I saved $20,000 and exactly what I did with it. So the first thing I did in order to save my $20,000 was to set a goal. It is hard to function in life when you don't have a goal that you're striving towards. And that's exactly what helped fuel me to save my first $20,000. So here's my backstory. In 2021, I bought the house hack. In 2022, we saved money. And in 2023, we bought a rental property. And in 2024, we invested into stocks. So that's just kind of how my life has been. It has changed year to year. And 2023 just happened to be the year that we were going to go and buy a rental property. So in 2022, I knew the goal was to get another rental property. And that is what fueled me to save in 2022. And then mid-year in 2023 is when we actually pulled the trigger and bought the rental property. So you need to have a goal if you're going to do anything, especially when it comes to saving money. So what's your goal? Do you want to save for an emergency fund? Do you want to save for a rental property? Do you want to save for a vacation? Do you want to save so you can invest more into the stock market? So you need to be able to find out what your goal is so you can attack it relentlessly. And to be honest, it's just super hard to save when you don't have a goal. So how did I save $20,000? I put in the work. I was working overtime. I was going on duty assignments for my job. I was putting in the extra work in order to save this money. I wasn't just saving my paycheck. I was stacking on top of my paycheck with these overtime shifts. So during the summer, I was working extra hours. We were super busy in the summer. So during the summer, I was working extra hours. So instead of doing 40-hour weeks, I was doing 50-hour weeks. And then with the extra money that I saved, I put towards my high yield savings account. And I treated all the overtime income as if it did not exist. I did consider getting another job, but to be honest, overtime just made more sense to me. I really didn't want to do Amazon Flex. I didn't want to do Uber Eats or anything when I could probably make more doing overtime shifts. I literally didn't have any days off. I was always working in some kind of capacity because I knew my goal, going back to the first thing I talked about, my goal was to get a rental property, and I needed about $20,000 to get that. And I knew how much I had at the moment, and I was not there yet. So I needed to work more shifts because the normal paycheck was just not going to cut it in the amount of time that I needed the money. I put in the work temporary for a long-term gain. So if you're looking to save more money, go get a second job or go work some overtime shifts. It's a temporary sacrifice for a long-term gain. Just look at it like that. You won't be doing this forever. You won't have to work this second job forever. You won't have to work overtime forever, but you're just doing it so you can achieve this short-term goal, so you can get through with the savings and so you can really start investing that money, because that's where the wealth is grown. And exactly what I did with this money, well, I automated it into my high yield savings account. So I already had a certain amount of money going to my high yield savings account, but on top of that, I had that overtime money, that extra money, that second job money going to the high yield savings account. So I was not spending that extra money. I didn't inflate my lifestyle because I had more money in my bank account. I didn't inflate my lifestyle because my check was $500 more or $1,000 more sometimes. I put that money straight to my high yield savings account because I had this goal of saving $20,000. If I were to inflate my lifestyle, then I would not reach my goal as fast as I did. Automation is truly a powerful thing, and I talk about this in almost every video, how important it is to automate your expenses, because it takes the pressure off of you from actually going in and manually moving money. When you automate your money, it just makes saving so much easier. It makes investing so much easier. It just makes it super easy to build wealth when you're automating your finances. It makes sure that you're putting all your money in a high yield savings account. In 2025, there's really no need to have a normal savings account when you're getting a 0.0001 yield on your money. When we have accounts out here with 4, I don't know if any have 5 anymore, but I used to have an account that had a 5% yield on my money. So there's no point of having a normal savings account. You need to get a high yield savings account, and I have the link down below for Ally Bank, which has a great high yield savings account that I use to this day. Another thing that helped me save towards my 20K goal was to reduce the amount that I was putting into my 401k plan. I think at the time I was putting about 5%, but I was saving a lot of money. And that helped me get to my 20K goal in order to buy this rental property. And then once I bought the rental property, I got used to the amount of money that was going to my savings. So I really didn't want to up my 401k, but I know that investing is the way to build wealth. You cannot save your way to build wealth. And the goal had passed, and I didn't have no other financial goal at the moment. I did end up upping my 401k to a number that I really think would work for me. So I wasn't stopping investing completely, but I really just had to pivot to a different goal. I made sure to at least put in my 5% so I can get my 5% match, which comes out to about 10% being invested in my 401k, while I'm still saving as much money as I can towards my short-term goal of getting this rental property and saving $20,000. But in order to save 20K, I also cut some expenses. I think the best way to save is by lowering your big three. So your big three is your housing, your transportation, and food. So as you know, I live in a house hack, so the housing is taken care of. As for transportation, I'm always shopping for different insurance rates on my cars so I can pay the lowest amount in insurance. And we don't have any cars that are financed. All of our cars are paid in cash. They are pretty old, but they work for us. And as for food, we just kind of spend what we need to spend on food. We didn't go out to eat more than what the budget called for, and we kind of stuck to our grocery budget of what was good for us back at the time. So I didn't just go cold turkey and stop spending. I followed a budget, and I have videos on budgeting that you can find on my channel, but I followed a budget. Just because you have to save a certain amount of money doesn't mean you have to cut everything out from your life. All you have to do is budget and you'll be good. So that's what I did with my 20K. I bought a rental property. Now, do I regret buying this rental property? Some days I do. Honestly, a lot of days I do regret buying this rental property because I didn't realize how much money real estate really takes. So yes, I live in a rental property now because it's a duplex and rent out the upper unit, but I didn't have that many expenses that had to go to this property. But the property that we bought a few years ago is a money pit. I mean, yes, a lot of the money that we put into the property comes from the rental income, but it's a lot of money that has gone into this property. And I just imagine, what if that money was invested? What if that money had been invested into some other asset? And I think about that all the time. I don't know if I want to sell it or not. It brings rental income. It does. It brings in cash flow, about $100 to $200 for cash flow, but am I even really collecting that cash flow because of all the maintenance that has to be done in this house? I mean, we just had an inspection and things have to be fixed. So that's going to take money. It even costs to get the inspection. Just to get the inspection was a month worth of cash flow. So I bought this rental property, but I don't know if I even want to really keep it. I've had it for about 2 years now, but I don't know. It's just a work in progress. I think once I actually have to start using my savings account to actually pay for the expenses that come with this rental property is the day that I let it go. Because I'm kind of shifting my mindset away from real estate and more towards investing in the stock market. It's just a lot cheaper to invest in the stock market, to be honest with you, and a lot less stressful. There it is. That's how I saved 20K. It wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was literally just hard work. It wasn't no crazy amount of money that came to me all at once. I got a lot of the money from just working more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, but also comment down below if you've saved 20K and exactly what you did to save that. So I'll see you guys in the next video.